So originally I wasn't planning to do this review, but it dawned upon me that there's this movie that came out on Amazon Prime recently. I never saw it in the cinemas because, like, you know what, I don't know if I'd be interested in seeing the movie. So now that I've actually seen the movie and I'm going to talk about it, I'll just mention what I watched. And what I watched last night was Better Man from 2024. And it's a biopic movie. It's a musical biopic movie about the artist Robbie Williams. And before we get into how I feel about this movie, and I'll just do all of that, I'll give you a bit of context before we get into how I feel about the movie, and then I'll mention some things about the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, click away, because I will spoil a couple of things just to describe things about the film. So what you need to know about me is I don't really listen to Robbie Williams that much. I know he was like a big hit in the UK and things of that nature. Another fun fact you need to know about this movie is that it actually underperformed at the box office while receiving sort of rave reviews. So there's all of that. So what you need to know about the movie in terms of the plot is what it literally is about. It's Robbie Williams and his career, the rise, the fall, that type of storyline where there's a guy, he wants to prove himself, he wants to be in the limelight, he wants the light shining on him, but then things happen in his life where he ends up, taking lots of drugs and drinking lots of alcohol. But what is kind of interesting about this movie is that it's kind of like got this certain gimmick towards it, and you'll be able to tell right away from the poster, from the trailer as you watch the movie, that Robbie Williams is not in the movie, but he is actually replaced with a CGI monkey body. And honestly, that, if I'm going to be honest with you, that is kind of what drew me to this movie. Like, what I will say, starting off with how I enjoyed the film, is that this movie is actually very, very funny in the sense that, you're just watching a monkey version of Robbie Williams going out there and singing, and he's singing in his house, or he's out in the street with his band and things like that. Like, there is a certain appeal to it, there's a certain charm towards how just silly and daft the movie is. As for the movie entirely, right, I don't think this movie is like really, really great, or it's, amazing, or like one of the best movies I've ever watched in my life. But for what it's going for, I didn't mind the movie. It was enjoyable, for what it was going for. And I kind of knew the fact that, there's going to be a point where Robbie Williams does something so stupid and crazy that the band, he's going to break up with the band and he's going to go off and do his own thing. Like, that's a story you've seen before in other, kind of music things where there's a band and then there's this one guy in the band and he's like, you know what, I don't know if I want to be with you guys anymore. And then there's like drama with his parents and how, there's this one part where his nan dies and then he has the big concert towards the end of the movie. So there is all of that. So what I will say is I did enjoy the movie. It's an enjoyable movie, didn't mind it. There's a part in the movie where it was kind of strange, where there's points where you see Robbie Williams as the monkey, but then there's like points where past versions of himself shout at him and all that. Like, it was a bit distracting at times, but it's like, oh really, did you really need to throw in all this other stuff in here? And I will also say that I definitely did feel the runtime in this movie, like it's over 2 hours long, and yeah, it does feel like the movie's on for ages. But yeah, it's not a perfect movie. It was enjoyable, it was kind of there, it wasn't like the worst thing ever, but it was a fun time. I got a few laughs out of me because it was just so insane how this guy was singing as a monkey and the way he was moving his mouth around and all that. So that is my review of Better Man. Hope you enjoyed this review and stay tuned for more like this one. You probably didn't even expect this one to come out today. I didn't even expect myself to even watch it, but you know what? I need to throw away some time and watch something on the TV, so I was like, you know what? Let me just throw this movie on, see how it goes. And you know what? As strange as the movie was, it wasn't horrible or anything, it was alright, you know what I mean? So that's my review of Better Man. Stay tuned for more like this one. I'll see you next time for another review on the James Ramblin' Reviews. Bye.